This one's about adverbs, which ones that we use.
So as to pass the test, he worked hard. In order to pass the test, he worked hard. If it's placed at the beginning of a sentence, the phrase should be in order to. Am I correct?
Well, let's have a look, okay? And we'll see what they sound like.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have our adverbs at the very beginning of the statement or at the very end, okay? This middle adverb, we'll explain that in another live session. This one isn't really for phrases. Okay, so let's see how we go. In order to pass, he worked hard. Sounds okay. What do you think? Yeah?
Yep.
It's all right. Yeah?
Yep.
He worked hard in order to pass. It's okay, but I like the other one better. What do you think?
I wouldn't have a problem with either of those.
All right, let's look at the second option. So as to pass, he worked hard. I don't know. He worked hard so as to pass.
Sounds much better.
Do you have a preference there?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
I think in general, in English, we mostly tend to say what we're going to do before we say why.
Yeah, okay. What before why? I like that.
I'm going to bring up some exceptions to that, but what tends to come before why?
Here's something I think of now and then, and I wonder if it's true. When we have these like adverb, conjunction, whatever kinds of whys, for example, I'm going to the beach although it's raining.
Yeah.
Although it's raining, I'm going to the beach. Like you say, I think we tend to say what before why. And if we put why before the what, we're creating a bit of suspense.
Yeah.
And maybe I would use that in a novel, to get people to go, so you say something like, although it's raining, yeah, what happened? I went to the beach. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, do you think?
It presupposes the although means that there's definitely something else coming afterwards, and in order to definitely means that something's coming afterwards. Let me show you what I came up with here. Okay, that's the question. Well, technically, yes, it is true that we'd put in order to at the beginning, not really so as to. It doesn't really fit so well at the beginning. But as I've already said, it's more common to say what and then follow it with why. But to be honest, we're much more likely simply to say to.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. In order to sounds like something I'm presenting at a meeting or something.
Yes, it makes a big thing of it. You find this kind of thing often in, yes, as you said, in a novel where they want to introduce a topic and then comment on it. But the same thing here, to get the best results. They could have said in order to get the best results, but it just seems a bit more than is necessary. Just to get the best results, leave the dough for an hour or so after kneading it.
And that works in quite well with something we were discussing last week about gerunds and infinitives. Using the infinitive like this to get the best results.
Yep.
In order to get the best results. It's all about this purpose, this intention, this focus on getting that thing done. Ah, yeah, clever. Let's try it on the n-gram. Let's see what comes up.
I'm making it case sensitive so that the capital letter at the beginning shows that it is the opening words of a sentence. So to get something and in order to get something. It's much more common to begin a sentence with to get it than in order to get it. All right? To get the best results, okay, leave the dough for an hour after kneading. In order to get the best results. Now
Actually, Don,
yes.
Click on where it says English 2018.
English.
I think the blue box at the top there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one. And I think we could get literature. Okay, so like if you scroll down, oh no,
We've got English fiction.
yeah, try that. It might change a bit.
Still,
Not really.
to
No,
get
still there.
is very much.
I was just thinking in writing it might be used a bit more.
Yeah, but not really.
Apparently not.
And we get things like and that's strange. This should be at the beginning of a so I said it for it to be case sensitive, so it shouldn't be giving me small t there. But what can I do to? These are examples. What can I do to get over feelings of hopelessness? What can I do in order to get over feelings of hopelessness? You'll need. This is a different. To get you can't that's not the same structure, so it's always important to go to the actual raw data rather than just looking at the statistics.
Yeah.
For some reason it's not giving me it should be case sensitive, which means that the capital T and capital I should be showing up both times, but they're not. Never mind.
Okay, well.
But we are seeing that to get something happening, to get the best results, for example, or to whatever it might be. In this case, to pass the test.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think really to answer that question, in order to kind of draw the audience's attention, so that the presenter can make their point, that it's pretty emphatic, really. So that's probably why you might hear it at the beginning often. But I think in just normal speech, we would say, in order to pass, he worked hard, or he worked hard, pass. I think would be the most common way to do that one. Then with the so as to pass, he worked hard, I'm going to say that one we'll see in a book, in a novel or something.
Yeah.
And he worked hard so as to pass. We might say that speaking. Now that would be the way I would say it if I was going to say it.
If you're going to say it at all, so as to do something.
So as to is just really not in my
lexicon.
No, I don't use that.
Wouldn't use it very often.
If I were giving a presentation, sure, because it sounds really quite formal to me and officious.
Right.